So welcome to the Morgue. This is the real place where all of the dead bodies in ILLBLEED get laid to rest, not the actual cemetery, because as you can see there are just far too many bodies to actually be buried, so they're all shoved here. This is what happens to the people who don't have the money to get returned to life by crash test surgeons. And this area, actually, it's very big and it's very empty at the same time. There are barely any traps and only a couple enemy encounters. For the most part, it is a very large, very empty maze. And we're just going to take a look right here to see just how big it is. This is the most complex maze of the game because there are actually two levels. You see how some of the passageways are grayed out and some of the passageways are red. The red ones are the bridges, the upper level. The gray ones are the carrier tracks at the bottom. By the dead bodies. So there are actually two levels of maze for us here. And this one does take the longest of any maze to go through. But, as I said, there are barely any enemies or traps in here, so you can take your time and be pretty leisurely about it. Now I'm just going to speed up most of this. Since you don't want to actually watch me do this all in real time, I'm going to speed up a bunch of the parts where nothing is actually really happening. And even though there are only a couple of traps in here, it's very easy to run into them, just because you're just going to be running. Like that one, we were attacked by ghosts. It's very easy to run into those traps just because there's nothing really else going on around here. You're just going to run right into it. And one interesting thing is that if we use the item monitor, we see where the items are, and this actually acts as a trail. The items will show you the way of where to go, so if you follow the items, for the most part, you're going to get to where you need to go. Now I just want to do a final review of what we know of all of our suspects. We know Cunningham is our prime suspect because he lied about being dead, and he said that Jason was Killer Man, but perhaps that was just a red herring. Whoops, and I was interrupted by zombies. Yes, zombies, because now it is completely a survival horror game because we have a shotgun and we're shooting zombies in the face. However, these enemies are different from the other enemies we've come across because we can't actually kill these enemies. We can shoot them and we can blow their heads off, but they just get right back up and they keep getting up, and they will never stop getting up because they're zombies. Now why are they so totally invincible? Well, perhaps all of the enemies we've seen so far have been special effects, but perhaps the zombies are not special effects. Perhaps they're actual zombies. And we'll call the helicopter to get away from the horde.
What was that? I don't think those were costumes. Those creeps were real. Hey!
Oh no, there goes Jorg. He was kidnapped by a zombie. So now we have to go rescue him. And I mentioned before that there was a fifth character we had to rescue that the game did not tell us that we had to rescue. Well, it's Jorg. He was taken by a zombie. We have to go find where he went. If we do not find him, we will not solve the mystery. That's another thing it doesn't tell you. Even if you choose the right suspect for Killer Man, if you don't rescue Jorg, you don't get the real ending, you don't get the $1 million prize, because apparently Eriko can't figure out the identity of Killer Man by herself. But now, as I was saying, Cunningham. We know that he was lying about his death, so that puts him up to number 1 as far as being Killer Man. But we don't know why he would do it. And here are some burned bodies. So we can just take a close look at what happened to the former challengers in ILLBLEED. Lovely. So Cunningham is our number 1 suspect. Number 2 again is Jason, who is dropped down on the ladder because we just saw him get shot by Killer Man. Number 3 is Jorg. He just got kidnapped by zombies. And we don't really have a reason to believe that Jorg might be Killer Man, but he was listed as one of the suspects. But Jorg does have kind of a strange feel about him, doesn't he? Doesn't seem quite right. I mean, he wears a shirt that says she on it. And she in Japanese is number 4, and 4 is considered to be an unlucky number in Japanland because it has the same first syllable as their word for death. So why would he be wearing a shirt like that? It's like someone wearing a shirt that says 13 on it. You kind of get the impression that that guy is bad news. And on that subject, why is number 4 in Japan, why is it bad luck? I mean, if it's bad luck, why don't they just change the name of it? As I understand it, they do the thing that the Western lands sometimes do with a 13th floor in a building, where they don't name it 13 because it's unlucky. But 4 is a low number, so you have to do that with a lot of buildings, wouldn't you? So why not just change the name of it? I mean, just because, you know, a long time ago, when someone was handing out number names, they figured it would be cool if number 4 sounded like death. That doesn't mean they have to keep it that way. They can just change it if they don't like it. And if they don't have a problem with that, I would ask, why don't they have a problem with it? I mean, when I was back in nursery school learning my numbers, if I had found out that the progression of numbers went 1, 2, 3, murder, 5, 6, 7, I would have a problem with that. I would question that. I would wonder why the murdereth number was called that. Oh, by the way, here's Jorg.
Thank you. You saved my life. And I am grateful, even though it's kind of embarrassing to get caught off guard like that.
So yeah, we've rescued him. We can use him in the next level. That kind of would imply that he's not Killer Man. But I still got my eye on him. Anyway, our 4th suspect was Killer Man. So maybe Killer Man is Killer Man. So what is the game talking about? What is it even talking about? I mean, what does that mean, Killer Man is Killer Man? Maybe it's getting all psychological on us. Maybe it's saying that the guy in the Killer Man suit has taken on the identity of Killer Man as his primary identity, and that's how he considers himself to be in reality. So the only proper way to address him would be as Killer Man, because that's now his name. Now he considers the guy under the suit not to be his actual persona. He considers Killer Man to be his real persona. Maybe that's what it's talking about. But I kind of doubt it, because it's ILLBLEED. And it's ILLBLEED. So maybe Killer Man is Killer Man, but I don't know what that means. The 5th suspect is us. Maybe we're Killer Man. When it didn't say Eriko, it didn't say maybe Eriko is Killer Man, it said maybe we are Killer Man. So maybe it's suggesting that maybe I was somehow killing these people while playing the game. Oh, wait a minute. More zombies. Right, so maybe I was killing these people while playing the game. Maybe I was playing a separate game of ILLBLEED, where I was dressed as Killer Man and I was killing these people, and at the same time, I was playing this game while trying to figure out the murder mystery that I created, like some kind of colorful version of Indigo Prophecy, but with better gameplay. But I can assure you that's not what's been happening. I have not been playing a second game of ILLBLEED while doing this, even though that's actually a pretty good idea. They should have done that, actually. That would have been pretty good. But they didn't do that. So no, it is not us that is Killer Man. It is someone else. I'm pretty sure. And more zombies, and I missed the tag, so we faint. Fortunately, the zombies are not much of a threat. They kind of stumble around, they don't hit for much. So that's okay. But anyway, we have five suspects, no motive. And so who's going to be Killer Man? Well, we're almost at the end of this, actually. We've almost unraveled the mystery. We've almost found out who the Killer Man is. We're almost at the verge of finding out who's been dressing up as a Power Rangers villain and going around killing people. I can't wait to find out, can you? And as we drop down into this little area here, it takes us to the staircase, which will bring us to the exit of the Morgue maze. Why is the Morgue a maze anyway? This seems overly complicated. Well, I guess no one actually has to go in here, since this is where all the bodies end up. They don't go anywhere else besides here. But as we go down this hallway, we exit the Morgue, and we come up to the final save point, but before that, I'm going to use our Amazon, because we're about to go into the boss fight. And look at all that adrenaline we have. We have more than Michelle has, because we're so upgraded. Okay, so now here's the final save point, and we're going to save here. So next time on Let's Play ILLBLEED, it is the final part of Killer Man, and it's time to come face to face to whoever is underneath that Killer Man costume. So I'll see you next time.